If you're great with your 9-iron but struggle with your driver, this video is for you. So many golfers I see are great with their short irons, but when it comes to their long irons, their woods, and their driver, everything falls apart. In this video, I'm going to show you why that is the case and share with you a couple easy drills that you can do to get yourself hitting your long irons and driver more solid, hitting it farther, and getting you closer to breaking 90. Okay, so how can this be the case? I hit it so good with one club, but then the next club, absolutely terrible. And here's the issue I see with most golfers. When we set the 9-iron down on the ground, and I put it flat on the ground, notice the angle at which it's resting on, all right? Conversely, when I hit my driver down, what do you see different? Very, very different angle. Obviously, it's a longer golf club, but notice how much flatter the angle is with the driver versus the 9-iron. Okay, so the problem is the golfers will get the 9-iron, and naturally, they'll be thinking in terms of getting this club to be a little bit more up, and that's okay with the short irons. The problem is with the longer irons, and especially with the driver, is this golf club needs to be maintained on this angle at the setup. What the average player does, and the ones that struggle, is they will take the driver and they will try to swing this too much like their iron. And inevitably, they're going to be too steep. They're going to hit too much down on the golf ball, often too much left of the target, leading to pulls and slices. So the key is understanding how the longer irons, the driver in specific is what we're going to talk about today, how that swing needs to be different than how we swing these shorter irons. Okay, so when it comes down to it, the key is understanding that the short irons are going to be swung more vertical, right? More up and down. And then as a result, we're going to be hitting more down on the golf ball. Conversely, the driver needs to be swung because of how it's designed and how it's built more around the body. And as a result, we're going to be a little bit more shallow. So that's the key here, is learning how to get the driver to be a little bit more shallow as opposed to the irons, which are supposed to be a little bit more vertical, a little bit more upright. Okay, so to get this feel, this first drill that we're going to do here is going to be as such. You're going to go ahead and hold the golf club, and I want you to hold it right out in front of you. I'm going to choke down just a little bit just because I have a little bit limited room here. But you get the idea. And you're going to set up so that this golf club is pretty much just parallel to the ground. Now, from here, all I want you to do is, pretending the ball would be up here, is go ahead and just rotate this club around your body so that your hands go around your shoulder. All right, so that's going to be going back, and then it's going to be the same thing coming through. And notice where my hands are traveling. So you notice as I do that, my club is not obviously going to look something like this. That would make no sense. I simply, right here, I'm just going to go ahead and rotate, keep that club on that same angle, going back, and the same thing coming through. Now, notice when I do this, where my head is staying and how my shoulders are moving. So watch, my shoulders are staying level, and notice how my arm is pretty much right in line with the shoulders, going back, and the same, right, coming through. Right? So now from here, I want you to go ahead and just lower the club about halfway, so about a 45 degree. Now notice when I do that, what's naturally happening with my spine and with my body, it's obviously tilting, angling towards the target. So now I want that same feeling just from here. Okay, notice my hands are traveling more around my shoulder. And the same thing, right, going through. Now, why that's important is it's not this. Okay, and what do you notice that happened, right? My shoulder came up. So I need you to make sure that your body, as you're doing this drill, is always rotating at a right angle or 90-degree angle to your spine, okay? It's the arms that we really need to focus on here. I'll see people setting up and think, okay, get the club around, and they'll go about it this way. And that is not what we need to be doing. We're going to be prone to hit the ground first if we do that and our head's moving all over, okay? So again, set this club about 45, and notice how I'm just turning my body on the same angle. And again, notice how that club is working around and around, all right? And now from there, I'm going to go ahead and lower the club right to the ground. and repeat that same feel. So notice when the club gets back, my left arm's in line with my shoulders. Notice where my hands are relative to my shoulder. They're where? It's going around, okay? If my arm were to lift, like so, and swinging too steeply like the 9-iron, look where my hands now are. Look where the butt end of the golf club is. That's the lifting. That's going to get you to swing down too steep. That's where you're not going to be able to hit the driver properly. So we'll set up, get that same feel, hands going around the shoulders, going back, and also coming through. All right, so that's going to be the first drill. So you're going to start up top here, swing right parallel with the ground, lower it to about 45 degrees, have that same feel, and then go ahead and bring it right down to the ground. Swing it back. Look where my hands are. They're swinging more around, back, and also around, coming through. Okay, so golfers, are you looking to improve but have no idea where to begin? I've got you covered. Click below and download my free Breakthrough Golf Playbook. That's going to give you everything you need to get you shooting lower scores right away. Okay, next drill that we're going to do here, we're going to start doing without a golf club. And I'm going to go ahead and set up. And as you see, I've got some sticks down on the ground. And rather than being parallel, right, I've got them just on a little bit of an angle, about 20 degrees or so. Now I'm going to set up so as I look down, my hands are pretty much right over these sticks. What you're going to do, if I were to do it incorrectly, what would happen is it would look something like this. Now notice where my left arm is right now relative to that angle on the ground. It's not, doesn't match it, right? That's the lifting, that's the up. That's okay with the irons, not going to be okay with the driver. What I need to feel as this club goes back, I need to feel my arm matching along the stick that's on the ground. So notice when I do it here, where my hands are now traveling. They're going where? More in and around, okay? We've got to have more turn in the backswing to help get the arms around our body. That's the key to hitting the driver. So here's the backswing. Now watch on the downswing as I come down. Notice how my club's staying more inside. It's not going out this way because there's that lead arm not matching with the angle that's on the ground, okay? So as I go back, it's in, and as I start to come down, it's staying inside that as well too. Now the follow through, the stick on the other side, that's going to be for my right arm. Watch as I come through, and now look at how my right arm is closely matching where that stick is. That's getting my hands to work around on the follow through, okay? What I'll often see sometimes for people is they'll get here okay, they might even get this all right, and then they'll do something like this. And that's going to get them swinging too far out to the right, too shallow, hitting big hooks, hitting big pushes, right? So we have to understand that the club is working in an arc or in a circle, more so with the driver than the irons, but it's working it on the backswing as well as the follow through too. All right, so again, just going to set up here, wing it back, left arm, it's going to feel like it's matching right there. And then on the follow through, the right arm is going to match, right? So now, as I've gotten a little bit of a feel for that, now I'm going to introduce it with the golf club. And again, we'll start with what incorrect would look like. Incorrect would be lifting the club up more over my head, and look where my left arm is. So what would be the fix there? Watch what's going to happen with my arms. They're working more in, they're working around. You'll also notice they start to probably feel that they're working a lot lower, right? So as you take the club back, I would even feel not only are the hands trying to get on this side of your shoulder, I would feel like it's staying underneath your shoulder. So your hands are going to literally feel like they're staying below the shoulder. If your tendency is to lift them, getting too vertical, that's getting the hands too high. All right, so here's the backswing. Swing it back. All right, now as I start to come down, I'm staying shallow. I make contact with the ball, and now that club is already working around on the follow through. Okay, so very simple. We've got the stick on the ground, and we're just going to place 2 more sticks. And again, you just set them to start with. So they're perpendicular to that first one. Just want you to angle them in a little bit, maybe 20 degrees or so. Now you're going to set up, So as you're looking down, your hand should be right along those as best you can. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just giving you a general idea. There's the backswing, club going around, and there's the follow through, club going around. Okay, again, with the driver, got to get this club to be more around our body. That's going to be more shallow as opposed to the irons, the short irons, when we get a little bit more steep, getting us to hit a little bit more down on the golf ball. Okay, so final thing that you're going to do in order to help you get this feel. So I did the first drill where we were up here. Obviously, the hands need to transfer around. But notice as I do that, what's happening with my hip. It's doing what? Turning, right? Sounds simple enough, but it's very interesting how few people turn their hip in the backswing. And it's very important that my hip has some turn, because if my hip were to stay very, very stable, as well as my knee, where's the club going to go? It has to go up. Conversely, if my hip will just start to turn and move backwards, my right leg can straighten. That's going to allow my hands to work more around my body. So what I want you to do, very simply in the setup, essentially you're going to build a little bit of that rotation in the setup. So you're going to get into your normal setup, and I've got my sticks here to give myself a guide. And what you're going to do is you're just going to preset the right hip back a little bit. Now, some people will see that and go, oh, but that means my ball is going to go to the right because I'm aiming to the right. Not true, because the biggest influence on where the club is going to travel is going to be with the arms and the shoulders, not from where you're aiming with your feet. Okay, it's a very common mistake that people have. So all you're going to do is just pull this right foot back a little bit, and now that's going to make things a lot easier now to swing that club around on the backswing, rather than if my foot were in, my hip doesn't move at all, the only place that club can go is where? Up, vertical. Okay, so again, if you're struggling with your driver, if you're struggling with the long irons, very good chance that you are swinging that golf club too steep, too much up and down. What you need in your golf swing, you've got to have more around in your golf swing. And I gave you a couple drills there to help work on that. Give it a try. Let me know how it works for you. Golfers, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have not already done so, please make sure that you like this video. Also, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. It's free. It will alert you when new videos come out, and it also helps me out a lot in continuing to help put out content for you all. If there's anything you'd like to see in future videos, please mention it in the comments. And if you would like to work with me, we can do so in person at Holiday Ridge Golf Club on Cape Cod, or we can also do so online using the Skillest app, and you'll see links to both of those in the descriptions below. As always, I appreciate you joining me and look forward to seeing you again next time.